Hey yo guys, it's your boy Legend on a different bike this time. God damn, this is a friend's new bike. It is a Kawasaki Ninja 400 and he's lending me it for today for a video. So let's see if we can destroy it. First thing I notice is it has a little bit more power than my R125, which is to be expected. I'm not going to push it too hard since it's not my bike and I don't want to damage someone else's bike. Second thing I notice is it sits so low to the ground. My foot go flat on the ground, which I cannot do with my R125. I'm tippy-toeing on that bike. This bike I am able to flat foot. But yeah, the power is really nice, really smooth. It pulls very nicely. I'm actually quite surprised by it. I've been on a few bigger bikes. One of the fastest I've been on was a full power MT-07. So I didn't know how quiet it would keep up with that because, you know, this is not as beefy as that, but still quite nice. It has a slipper clutch as well, which I have for these stones here, which means you cannot lock up your rear tire when you're downshifting hard. But yeah, it's quite nice. Power is smooth, gears, shifter feels smooth. The positioning is something I'm like a little bit in the middle about because it is insanely comfortable, which you might be wondering, well, what's the freaking problem with that? Well, it's a sports bike, so in my head it has to be like full on aggressive, like my R125. My R125 has a way more aggressive stance than this. Hey, ducky. But I mean, that's personal preference. I mean, it's for longer trips, this will be way more comfortable. It has a Akrapovič exhaust on it, but it's the street legal version with a catalytic converter and all. So it's not too loud. Again, compared to my R125, it's actually really quiet. Ooh, a lot of sand here. I'm taking these corners like a little bitch, guys. And I know that. That's not because I don't know how to drive. But this guy bought this bike brand new like a month ago. And I know how it is, like when you have a new bike, you don't want to be like letting people ride on it. I mean, I still don't like when people ride on my bike, and I've had it for 2 years. So I really appreciate it. And I'm really taking it nice and slow on these roads. And then when I hit the main road, I'll go a little bit faster. Blind corner. It's really smooth. I hear a lot of wind noise and not a lot of exhaust, because that's, I mean, it's just not something I'm used to. I'm used to full-on exhaust noise. But it goes 0 to 100 really smoothly. A lot of flies being squashed on my helmet. Let's see. Oh, no cars. All right. Very smooth bike. In my opinion, it can be a little bit louder. Second gear pull. Very nice, very smooth. But yeah, very nice bike. I'm pleasantly surprised by it. It looks great. There's a small few things I would personally change about it. One being the mirrors. While extremely functional, they're also extremely ugly in my opinion, which is a trend with manufacturers making big and bulky mirrors. A lot of sands on these roads. Tires are still pretty new. The guy doesn't lean much yet, so the sides of the tires are pretty much untouched. So I don't want to be the one like leaning over in the corners on like a brand new tire. But yeah, I mean, very smooth, very nice. It is an awesome step up from a 125. If you're upgrading from a 125, this is obviously a perfect choice for that, because something bigger might be a little bit overpowered then, and you might feel a little bit too intimidated. But for me, I'm coming from a 125, limited experience on bigger bikes, and this is not like overpowering me. I'm not scared of it. I can fully open up the throttle without being afraid, and it feels pretty nice. It sits again really low. I can flat foot this. This would definitely be a bike that would be perfect for me moving up from a 125. I'm not a big fan of green. I don't know what other colors are available. But also the bike is surprisingly light. I don't have to put my foot down. I can balance it real easy. It's not heavy at all. Compared to my 125, I think it's like 20-30 kilograms heavier, which is a really manageable, really nice. Mods done to this is obviously the exhaust, as I mentioned, and a 12 volt outlet right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I also don't know what the angle is like with my GoPro on this bike, because I'm not used to this. Brakes feel solid. Third gear pull, very nice. And yeah, it's very comfortable. It's kind of awkward. I'm not really sure where to put my feet, my knees at. On my bike, they grip the tank perfectly. I feel like here I'm not getting as much grip with my legs against the tank. That might just be something I'm not used to yet, or maybe like my bike is just like more aggressive in that way, because the styling of my bike is quite more aggressive, seating position and stuff. But yeah, it's an awesome bike. I don't have a lot of bad shit to say about it, other than the color, but that's something personal. It has a gear indicator. The dash looks nice. It's not as bright as I would like. Now in the full sun, it's actually just a little bit too dim in my opinion. I feel like they could have brightened that up a little bit. I can see my speed pretty good, but the smaller numbers like the odometer and the time, yeah, they're a little bit hard to read in direct sunlight in my opinion. But yeah, very comfortable ride. I feel like the springs are a tiny bit softer as well as my bike. Again, my bike, Yamaha went for the full-on aggression. This is more like an in-between. Let's take a left because there are no cars. Oh yeah, that's a nice amount of power. I was a fourth gear pull, going up to legal speeds very easily. Yeah, it's definitely good. Cornering feels great. Again, I'm not pushing it as hard as I would be if it was my own bike in the corners, but I don't have to. Let's turn around here and go back to double back to that guy and give him his bike back. The slipper clutch actually feels extremely nice. Let's go over the hill. Okay, right there, accelerating like that, I can feel the tire a little bit slip because it's still pretty new and not worn in yet. I can definitely feel, definitely on these back roads, which are not greatest conditions and not like the cleanest, a lot of sand and dirt and whatnot. And also something that's personally a little bit bothering me actually is the fact that the exhaust is quiet and I feel like nobody is really hearing me, if that makes any sense. Like even bicyclists and stuff like here, I feel like they don't hear me coming because I cannot really even hear myself. I hear a lot of wind noise, not a lot of exhaust on this bike compared to my bike. I don't know how well the microphone picks everything up, but yeah, so that's something I would change, because that's just a mental thing really. And that's also a little bit because I have a loud bike myself, so going from a loud bike to a quiet bike or a quieter bike really is kind of weird. You feel invisible, which as a motorcycle rider is not a good feeling. But let's double back and give this guy his motorcycle back. I'm gonna do one more nice pull, third gear. Yeah, the power delivery is nice and smooth, not overpowering. It's not like a crazy amount of power that like hits you like a brick. But it's nice and smooth and plenty of power for like for Belgium. It's perfect. We don't have a lot of crazy big roads. This will keep up with traffic just fine. You will be faster than pretty much anything on the road, like acceleration wise and stuff, and that is perfect for Belgium. I spoke to him. He does like a full tank about like 300 kilometers. 5th gear pull. Testing the brakes. That was a giant fly hitting my helmet. Yeah, the brakes feel solid as well. The back brake could maybe be a little bit more harder, I guess. I feel like it's less snappy than my 125, but then again my 125 has less power, so it stops easier, which might be why I'm feeling like that, if that makes any sense. Nice downshifting. Going to lean a little bit into this corner because that's quite a nice one. Again, not doing any crazy leaning, no knees down or anything, as it's not my bike. And just nice and calm coming back into town and just cruising in 6th gear. For someone like me that has a pretty heavy wrist from riding a lot of 50cc's and 125s, you're constantly in full throttle. So for someone like me with a very heavy wrist or very heavy hand, this is quite a nice bike because you can still open it up and not kill yourself like you would on a bigger bike like a 600 Super Sport or even like a 1000, because that's a bike I would definitely kill myself on, since I like revving the shit out of my bikes. Front brake feels solid as well. Yeah, I'm just balancing right now, no foot on the ground, and that feels not heavy at all. Those 20 or 30 kilograms this bike has over my bike are really not that noticeable. It's quite refreshing being able to put your foot down, like both of your foot down. If I want to put my foot down on my bike, it's only one foot, or it's tippy-toeing. Why is he riding in the middle of the street? I don't know. So yeah, we're heading back to the guy that kindly lent me his bike. At lower speeds you can hear the exhaust growl. That's a difficult word to say. Growl quite nice. But at high speeds it's more wind noise with this exhaust. Which, I mean, hey, if he's happy with that, then who am I to judge, you know? Not everybody has to be an obnoxious asshole like I am. So let's double back. Yeah, sounds quite nice. Not crazy loud. Quite refreshing to be on a bike that doesn't destroy your ears. Too bad this bike still has a catalytic converter, which makes it so it doesn't really pop. Would like to hear this exhaust pop. But if you guys like this video, then please leave a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. A big thank you to the guy for lending me this bike, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.